Hello again, everyone. I thought today I would use the last of the three little aperture creatures. I've got a rabbit, a fox, and a polar bear. So today I thought we'd do the polar bear. I want to use a square card. This is nearly 6 inches. It's 150 millimeters square. I found one of my press cut nesting dies that is just about the right size to make an aperture for this to surround. So I cut a hole in the middle, and this die, when cut out, it just fits on that edge. So it's made it into, the whole front panel rather than just a little badge, as it were. So I've cut 2 of these. I've kept the noses in there. I'm not bothered about the eyes because I'll put a piece of card behind that I can draw a little black dot on for the eyes. That one's very small, actually. I have to be a bit careful, see if I can find a really fine point. I think I'll cut the ears off the front one, but I think that's kind of about all, really. So I'll cut the ears off, and then I'll stick these 2 together. My idea is, as I say, I'm just going to put it onto the front of this card like this. I bought these at the weekend from the pop-up shop at the workshop, and they appealed to me straight away. And I didn't realise, actually, until I got home, that these are designs by Mike Deakin, who was sitting on the table with me. I didn't realise I was in such, quite such illustrious company to start with. He was so helpful. He's in a different sort of genre to me. He's really into sort of heavy mixed media, and I, enjoyed doing it, but adapting it for my own personal style for cards. But I thought this might look rather nice as a backdrop to the polar bear. So just a few bubbly things behind, if you can see. That's what I fancy behind there. And I wondered what I would, colour I would do. And I thought I'd do a little bit of resist and use this colour. I don't know if any of you have ever walked into a glacier, but the colours are really quite vivid, the bluey-greeny sort of colours of the ice. I'm going to try it. It might be too much, I don't know, but we'll see. So here are my, stamps, and that's the one I want to use. Mike was, I have to say, he was so helpful to me because he knows his stuff backwards. And we had great fun. We had a good laugh. Absolutely fabulous. So, hope I'll come across him again at another course sometime. But I don't think he's normally a participant. I think he is normally the person who is taking the class. So, let's just do this. I've got a piece of scrap. It's not quite the same colour, but because I'm going to treat it, it doesn't really matter. So, I'm going to emboss this in clear embossing powder onto this piece of card here. I hope it's going to be big enough. I think it should be. That looks nice. So, a little clear embossing powder. I think I can probably just dunk this in the box. I was going to say the pot. It's a bit of a big pot, isn't it? There we go. Lovely. Whoa, what a pretty stamp. Look at that. Isn't that lovely? I'm just going to heat set this now. Just check that it's actually going to be large enough for behind him. Let's just see. Yep, I think we'll be fine. Right, next thing to do is to get some colour on with this Distress Oxide. Pop this onto the grip mat, my scrapbook.com grip mat, and now we just go over this. I have I mentioned the other day, become an affiliate with Altenew after they did that, asked me to do the collaboration with them. I have put some links below the videos to these various affiliations. Most of them are just to the general site, because that means that anybody who goes to that site via my link and makes a purchase, they will give me a small commission. It won't cost them anything, but it gives me a little thank you. So if you could use any affiliations for scrapbook.com, Ohuhu, Altenew, Craft Stash, can't think of any more. Maybe some more, can't remember. But if you could, that would be brilliant. And I also am an associate with Amazon. The commission on that is very, very, very small. But nevertheless, every little helps. That's a pretty colour, isn't it? So pretty. Now, because the white has gone a little coloured, just get a paper towel, dry one, and just rub over the top. And it just rubs the colour off the embossing and leaves it nice and white. Isn't that gorgeous? Can you see? It's come off. That is beautiful. Right, now let's sort out this little chap. So I said I was going to cut his ears off the front one. And then we'll do a bit of colouring. Okay. The nose I want to be black, and I just want to give him a bit of shading. So the ears will be on the back one. Let me put a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of very pale pink. And I might do something like, what have I got? What's a really, really, really pale, sort of fleshy colour? E010, that might do. E010. That's the chap. Okay. I can come back onto the body with this because that's going to cover it. So I'm just going to ease my way in there like that. Okay. Do I want a bit of shading on this? On his tummy? Maybe. Let me put some blender on first so that it will diffuse just slightly. Says she, hopefully. Let's see. I can always try and take some of the colour away with the blender. Yes, I think that's probably enough. Okay, let's stick these two together. Yes, I'm going to go to another indigo blue day in November, locally. It's in Portsmouth. So maybe some other local people going, I don't know. Right, I'm going to have a little grey shading just around the side of the bear, around here, just a little. Take a bit of that away. Now, I do need a nose. Let me just put a tiny bit of card on the back of this. Okay. Now, where's his nose? There are a couple here. Could do with sticking them both together and colouring the top one. Perhaps I'll try and get this one in first. Be easier to put them in singly than try and put them in as a double act. Not sure, but I think I might have got this upside down. Might have glued the wrong side. Doesn't matter. Let's just colour the other one first. There we go. Drop of colour. Spot of glue. And on we go. There we are. This is really skinny. This is an Ohuhu one fine line drawing pen, and it is 0.05, so it is really skinny. Okay. Now, do I want a bit of twinkle around that? I think I do. So what I'll put that on with is this glue pen. This is a Zig, and it's really good for adding twinkle. So I'm going to come around here. That was the tricky bit. This is just plain sailing. Okay. This can go into the twinkle. Isn't that sweet? Oh, he's sweet. He's so sweet. I will put some just shimmer onto the bear itself. That's going to go behind there. It's going to go on there. Be quite sweet, won't it? I'm not going to put that on yet, because what I want to do is to emboss something around the circle, just to, you know, just a little bit more of taking your eye to the important bit. And what I thought might be quite nice, as we've got sort of circles and things in the background there, is to use this die, which is a Noble die from Creative Expressions. They, of course, are going out of business, so it may be a chance for you to get something like this, you know, on sale. Who knows? So I'm just going to emboss this. Now, to emboss it, now this confused people the other day when I did it with a die. They can't understand why it doesn't cut. And the first time I did it, I think I felt exactly the same, to be perfectly honest. I was in fear and trepidation. I thought, why is it not going to cut the mat? But it doesn't. So the rubber mat has got enough resilience in it to take the pressure of the die so that it just does leave an impression and doesn't cut the card itself. So let's pop our piece of card onto the rubber mat. I'm going to place this where we want it. I want it sort of equidistant all around, and I am going to put a piece of tape to secure it, because I'm notorious at doing a little jiggle just as it's going to go into the machine, and then it doesn't stay in the right place. So that looks about okay to me. I'm looking for the parallel lines, the parallel from the sides, equidistant on all sides from the circle. I just kind of eyeball it. I think that will do. Okay, and an ordinary cutting plate on the top. So it's your base, rubber mat, card, die, face down obviously, and then your top plate. It will vary from machine to machine. I'm using the wrong top plate, says she, as if she knows what she's doing. I need my embossing plate for this, which is just slightly thicker than a regular cutting plate. So, and this is another reason why I need tape on, because I can't actually see if it's moved as I've moved it from here to yon. So, and you can tell as it goes through the machine whether the sandwich is correct. If it goes through too easily, then obviously you're not tight enough. If it goes through can hardly go through, then you've got the wrong sandwich. You've got too thick a set of plates. So let's just take this off carefully. This is a double dotted die. That's alliteration for you. So whether you use it for an aperture or whether you use it for an actual piece, the panel itself, you'll get the dots on it. But because I'm using it as an embosser, I get two sets of dots, one inside the line and one outside the line. Okay, I just thought that would go quite nicely with this sort of dotty backdrop here. You can see it's a different colour card. So I'm just going to cut that off, and I'm going to pop that behind there. I can afford to put it slightly higher because the bear himself will be with that little bit just there. So, foam tape around the edge. Okay, so we have some foam tape on the back. So now I want to position this. That's the next thing to do. So we'll just take the backing off the tape that surrounds the aperture. About like that, I think. Right, and this is to be stuck over there like that. So I'm just going to glue around the edge of this. I will put a piece of tape on the back of him so that he doesn't flap around. He can have a couple of bits. He will be attached then to that backdrop. Right. I'm going to put a bit of glue stick on these bits of foam tape because I don't want them to grab the backdrop there before I've got this positioned accurately around the aperture. Right, here we go. Oh yeah. Now that can go on there. Sweet, isn't it? Now I just want to do the warm wishes. So here they are. As purchased, they have a backdrop that goes kind of like that. I don't know whether I want that or whether I don't. So I'll have to find some matching card for this in case I want. Right, here's Here's an offcut. You see the difference? Let me just cut these out and then see what we want. I think we might use the backdrop this time. I think what I'll do is just colour these silver. So I'm going to use my Spectrum Noir and just go over the die. Cut, should I say. I don't know where the eye's gone to. We might have to draw. I've got to find one of these. I might be able to draw the tittle if I can't find it. I wasn't really thinking. Oh, I think that's it there. Yeah, that's it. Let me just put some colour on it. Don't know where it's gone now. Is that it? Yeah, perhaps it is. I think you can spot things more easily than I can, to be honest. Right, let's just pop those onto here. There we are. Warm wishes. Oh, that's cute. I am just wondering about putting any twinkle on the backdrop, but I quite like it as it is, really. So, there we are. On a fairly quick card, clean and simple. With lots of little bits of interest just to keep you occupied. So, warm wishes to you too. Thank you so much for subscribing, for thumbs upping, for commenting, and do come back and see me very soon. Thanks for watching.